Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Windsor Park Climate Conversation. My name is Martin Lukey. I'm chair of the Windsor Park Neighborhood Association Climate Committee. We have a really great show for you tonight. We call it the Rebate and Tax Credit Eco Action Show. And it is a way for you to take action in your own home to change your carbon footprint. But before we get to the show, I wanted to also tell you about a big program we're doing this Saturday here in Windsor Park. It is going to be at the home of our director of our show, Selwyn Pollitt. And Selwyn, please share with us the Eco Expo flyer. As you can see, it's 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's at 5512 Coventry Lane. And there's going to be a lot going on there. We're going to have representatives from Lloyd Doggett's office to talk about the Inflation Reduction Act with you. We're going to have members of the Austin Energy team there to help you with rebates and tax credit programs. And Selwyn, who else have we got going there? It's going to be some of the climate organizations in town, Sierra Club.
Yeah, we've got
Climate Lobby.
We've got some folks from the Austin Permaculture Guild going to be talking about permaculture. See, we got folks on the free, what is it called? The free exchange.
The
free exchange people. We got all kinds of cool people.
We've got tacos. We've got music. Oh yeah, tacos. We're also going to be giving away an electric lawnmower and an electric weed eater. So if you come participate and you come have some fun with us, and you might just walk away with a shiny new Cobalt lawnmower or a Ryobi weed eater. These things will help reduce your carbon footprint if you're still using gasoline powered anything. So that's happening this weekend, Saturday, June 3rd, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And with that, let's move on to the show. Selwyn. Thank you. First of all, I want to introduce our panelists. First panelist is Mark Rickling. He's the Senior Policy Advisor for Representative Lloyd Doggett. He supports Representative Doggett's work on the House Ways and Means Committee, the House Budget Committee, and the Joint Committee on Taxation. Mr. Rickling is also previously the Policy and Legislative Director for Americans for Tax Fairness. Mark, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Congressman Doggett is a huge fan of what you're doing with the Windsor Park Neighborhood Association, especially in regards to the climate crisis conversation. He really thinks that you guys are leading the way, and part of our work, and I work here in the Washington, D.C. office for Congressman Doggett, is helping other people get to where you are about taking the climate crisis seriously, showing how people in their own homes, in their daily lives, can address and combat climate change. And hopefully we've done some of that in the investments we've made, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later in the Inflation Reduction Act.
Very good. Yes. And there's a lot there. So a lot to talk about. Let me pitch it to my co-host, Barrett Sundberg, to introduce one of our other guests. Barrett, take it away.
Hello, everyone. Catherine Lee Doar is the utility strategist on the residential team for the Austin Energy Green Building Program. Welcome, Catherine.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Fantastic. And next, we'd like to introduce Sally Phipps. Sally is program manager in Austin Energy's Energy Efficiency Services team.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having us here. I'm looking forward to this evening's presentation and conversation.
Brilliant. Last on our list is Olivia Cardona Herrera. She is a passionate advocate for electric modes of transportation and reducing her carbon footprint. Well, you're in good company here, Olivia. You work for Austin Energy in electric vehicles, and was it emerging technologies? Is that where you are? You need to turn on your microphone.
Yes, that's correct. I'm with Austin Energy's Electric Vehicles and Emerging Technologies team, and there I am the operations specialist. But today I'll be talking about the home charging installation rebates.
And whatever else we can ask you about as far as
Of
that.
course, most definitely, yes. And to answer any other questions that y'all may have. So thank you for having us.
Brilliant. So I wanted to start off with talking about the Inflation Reduction Act, this thing that happened last year that appropriates $369 billion into a whole bunch of different programs and ideas that Congress, for the very first time, has made this kind of law. And Mark, you're the go-to guy here to help us understand this, wrap our arms around it. It's a pretty big thing. Most of our audience is really interested in, of course, homeowner-oriented stuff, but maybe you can give us a little bit of an overview of it, and then we'll get into some nuts and bolts here as we go along.
Yeah, I'll try to give you a brief overview of it. And you've pulled up a section of our webpage that's available. And I don't know if you can throw the URL in the chat, but essentially, if you go to doggett.house.gov, click on issues and go to the bottom of issues, you'll see the page that's displayed right here on the screen. And what this does is breaks down all of the kinds of help that we were able to get enacted into law last year that encourages consumers to take the climate crisis seriously, that makes investments in clean energy, in clean transportation, so that people like you in Windsor Park can have an active role in combating the climate crisis, so that we as a country can help make our carbon emission goals, reducing our carbon emissions that we agreed to in the Paris Agreement. So if you just look at this page, you scroll down, you'll see a sort of, at first glance, a dizzying array of programs. But let me sort of break those down for you and tell you how those work. The first 5 items on the screen are tax credits. So this is administered by the IRA. You would apply for these at tax time when you file your taxes. And they're credits, which are reductions in the taxes you owe for things like purchasing a new electric vehicle, purchasing a used electric vehicle, help in installing a home EV charger up to $1,000. And then the final 2 tax credits, if you scroll down, are for homes. One is for energy efficient appliances and other energy efficient things you can put in your house, like insulation, doors, a window, even a $150 tax credit for getting an energy audit. You can apply for at tax time. And then the final tax credit right there is for essentially power production, rooftop solar.
This is an awesome array of things right off the bat, Mark. With credits, just to make sure I'm on the right page. So when you say straight off the taxes, you're saying, like, if it's $5,000 worth, it reduces your income 5,000, you get a percent. You're saying if you spent $5,000 on the item, you actually would be getting back $5,000 off your tax bill if you have a $5,000 tax bill?
That's exactly right, Barrett. I believe you had this conversation with the Congressman when he was on, and he sort of described the difference between tax credit, as you just did, and then a deduction from your income. So this is reducing the tax liability you have. Some of these I know that you asked as well last time the Congressman was on. Well, what happens if I don't have a lot of tax liabilities? How could I use, for instance, that $7,500 EV credit if my taxes are only $2,000 a year? That tax carries forward, so that even if you can't use the value of that $7,500 tax credit, if you're eligible for the full $7,500, you can apply that to taxes up to a 5-year period. Not every credit on this page, so a little bit in the weeds, not every credit in this page is like that, but the car tax credit is. And another feature we like about the car tax credit is not this year, but starting next year, this is something that dealers in 2024, dealers will be able to take off the MSRP, or the price you agree to pay for an EV. So even if you have 0 tax credit, you can still get that $7,500 off of an EV purchase starting in 2024. It's a little bit of a time lag before the IRS can set up this process where dealers can get credit for this. So that's why it didn't start this year. But to sort of address that issue that you raised with the congressman in your last conversation, well, I don't have a lot of tax liability. How can this help me? That's one of the things we were able to enact starting in 2024. Everybody can get the full value of that $7,500 purchasing a new EV if they have tax liability or if they don't.
That is awesome. And some of our viewers may have seen that show and may already know. For those who don't, Congressman Doggett has graced us more than once with really excellent conversation on this show. And he is one of the leading members who actually helped write a lot of the bill and really push and negotiate for many of these provisions. So we are really excited to have him, information from him and to have that kind of communication with Congress. So thank you for coming and representing his office, and thank him for his work. It's really exciting to see these kinds of things finally happen.
It's our pleasure, and I will definitely pass that message along to the congressman.
So we have 3 members of Austin Energy here, and we wanted to start with Sally Phipps to talk about the residential energy program. Sally, can you give us a bit of an education on what Austin Energy is doing for our homeowners here?
There we go. Now it's working. Yes, absolutely. Hi, everyone. Sally Phipps. I do work within the Residential Energy Efficiency Services team at Austin Energy, and we have a lot of rebate programs available for our customers. This slide provides a general overview. I won't be touching on all of these programs. Some of my colleagues tonight will talk about some of them. But we have everything from a green choice power program. So if you want to support the purchase of renewable energy in Texas, you can volunteer to sign up for a green choice program. The link there, you follow it, gives you instructions on how to sign up. We have 2 whole home programs, one home performance with Energy Star. That's a rebate program. We give you rebates back averaging around $1,800 when you make deep energy retrofits, energy improvements on your home. We also have the weatherization assistance program. That is an income eligible program, mirrors home performance. Austin Energy, we pay 100% of the cost of upgrading and improving someone's home, making it more energy efficient. And the other programs we have there, if you're replacing a one-off appliance, like you need an HVAC, you need a heat pump water heater, we have an appliance efficiency program, in addition to smart thermostats. Those are all rebates back directly to the customers for making those energy efficiency improvement to their home. If you're out in a store and you're looking to buy a small appliance and you want to buy an Energy Star small appliance or water saving devices, we have an in-store program, that instant savings program. We also have a program that helps us manage our grid. So the Power Partner Thermostat program, that's where you can sign up to allow Austin Energy to bump up your thermostat 2 to 4 degrees during our peak demand times. And that helps us manage our grid. And we do give you an incentive back for doing so. That's $85 on your bill. And just all those suite of programs are available to all of our Austin Energy customers. If you want to learn more about each program, if something's of interest to you, we do have slides that I can go through, and happy to answer any questions the customers or participants have.
Yeah, Sally, I want to mention, this is Selwyn. I'm a Green Choice customer. I got the rebates. I got federal rebates. I got Austin rebates for my solar system. So I've definitely taken advantage, and I got my home weatherized. So I got to take advantage of all of these. They're real. They seem to work very nicely. So I'm very pleased.
Oh, fantastic. I'm glad to hear that. And I'm glad you mentioned solar. I'm sorry I didn't mention that. Solar rebates, fantastic solar rebates, $2,500 for solar panel installations. And then you do have a value of solar bill credit when you do have solar on your home. So many things to take advantage of. And I'm glad to hear that you have. And those are just a fraction of some of the things that we have open to our customers.
So just to double check, so you're saying you'll actually get $2,500 back installing the panels, but yet you're still getting the payment for the energy all the way through as well?
Correct. So actually, if you want to bring up the solar slides, and I can show customers an example of the bill breakdown, and that's on page slide 13.
13, thank you. How's that?
That's perfect. So
That
exactly.
looks a lot like my bill. It really
Yeah.
does.
So that's exactly right. You know, customers will still receive a bill, all of your metered consumption, but what we do is your earned to value solar will be applied against your bill. It it is non-transferable, but you will see it reflected on your bill. So everything that's metered, we have a meter um, for your solar production and then a meter for your power consumption. And all of that will be broken down on your bill, so you can see your earned value of credit right onto your bill, and you know how much you're producing from your solar and how much your total consumption is and how much we're crediting back.
So earn to value, does that mean, is that what you're saying?
It is called the earned value of solar credit, and it roughly equates to 9.91 cents per kilowatt hour.
I'm going to
That we're
try
crediting
zoom
back.
that in a little bit better here.
Okay,
So
but so you're getting paid for all the power you generate.
Yes, through the value of solar credit, you are getting paid for that production.
and it's credited to your electric bill.
Correct.
Very
Yeah,
good.
so
As I'm
in
seeing
the-
these things stacked together, I'm seeing that some of the IRA stuff can be doubled up with the Austin Energy things. Like they seems like there are multiple things going here.
That's exactly right, Martin. There is a credit. It's called the 25D, and forgive me, I'm a tax nerd, so I refer sometimes to the numbers in the tax code. It's the official number is 25D, but it's called the Residential Clean Energy Tax Credit. That will give you a 30% tax credit on the cost of installing rooftop solar on your house. So that totally can be combined with both the $2,500 Austin Energy credit for installation, as well as the credit you're getting for producing that energy.
Among all these other things that are going on, we've got Olivia Cardona Herrera here. She is with Austin Energy in the electric vehicle department. Olivia, why don't you give us some information on that level?
Sure, yes. Austin Energy offers a home charging station rebate and installation rebate, which offers up to $1,200 in rebates, which would typically consist of about 50% of the installation and the charging stations. There is some requirements that do require that you are an Austin Energy customer. Yeah, thank you, Sally. Can you bring up my PowerPoint? It's probably the best source of information here. So basically 50% of the purchase and installation cost of a level 2 charging station up to $1,200. And that's for a Wi-Fi enabled charging station, which basically means that it can communicate with Austin Energy. And then you have the maximum at $900 for those non-Wi-Fi communicating charging stations. The eligibility requirements do require that it be an Austin Energy customer, that they purchase a new or leased electric vehicle, and that a licensed electrician must perform any of the hardwired installation. Charging stations are required to be UL, ETL, or CTEL less listed, which basically means that they've passed a certification type approach to make sure that they are going to withstand the elements. And also there are some permits required in regards to the installation, but those are typically handled by your electrician.
So Olivia,
Yeah.
I have a question on that front. I've been interested in buying a Nissan Leaf. Do you have any idea what it costs to set up the home charging station for something like that? I know you're saying there's a $1,200 to $900 rebate, but any idea what something like that would cost?
Yes, I actually have a Nissan Leaf myself that I've been
Sweet.
driving for 12 years. So I do not recall the cost of it back then, but The cost can vary depending on where your plug is going to be installed and how far it is from your breaker. So to get an estimate, you would need to talk with an electrician. And we advise that you get at least 3 quotes when you do that. So that cost can vary.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the distance is really related to how much heavy wire you have to have. It's a 240 volt installation, correct?
That is correct. A level 2 is a 240 outlet. And yeah, and there are, I know in my case, my electrician had to go through my porch. So there was some drilling and wood involved. But ultimately, we got it done, and I have access to my level 2 charging station, which I also participated in this program over 12 years ago when I first got my electric vehicle. I signed up for the program and participated in the rebates and was able to apply that towards transitioning to electric vehicle driving.
And do you love your Leaf? I hear everyone loves them.
Oh my gosh, I
love it?
do. I love it so much that I have over 120,000 miles on it, and I've had it for 12 years.
Wow.
With
wow.
zero maintenance cost. Absolutely.
Not even
zero.
tires? Not even tires?
Well, I mean, that's a given. That's with any vehicle. But when it comes to all those other moving parts,
Yeah.
nothing.
No oil changes, right?
Oh,
All the wonders.
Exactly.
clean.
None of that. None of that. And obviously, I mean, it's worked for me. It feels right. And that's why I've been driving now for 12 years. I've bought new, used. I even traded in an electric vehicle to purchase another electric vehicle. So I've gone full circle with driving electric. And there's also, as you can see on my slide, there's other more ways to go electric other than just driving an electric vehicle. We also, Austin Energy also offers an e-ride rebate that allows you to get a rebate for other modes of transportation, like driving an electric bike, an electric scooter, an electric motorcycle, and even electric moped. So we have rebates for all modes of electric transportation.
How do you
Sorry, go ahead.
access those rebates? Is it contacting you?
You can contact me if you have any questions, but we do have our website here, which is Plug-in Austin. And there you'll see many tabs that can direct you to whichever rebate you're looking into. And like I said, the home rebates or the e-ride rebates. We also have other rebates consisting for commercial and multifamily as well that you can find on that link.
Brilliant, brilliant. I wanted to go ahead and get to our other panelists. Catherine Lee Doar, you're doing the Green Building Program for Austin Energy. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Right. So most people don't know that Austin Energy Green Building was the first local green building program in the world. And so 32 years ago, the community got together with a grant from the Department of Energy. Thank you, federal government. And we developed the single family rating. And at that time, all it was a one-page checklist of energy efficiency measures. Next slide. Can you click to the next one? There we go. Okay, so Austin Energy Green Building serves everyone in the city because our ratings have been used as a place for different city departments to try out new ideas before they become part of the building codes. So related to what Olivia was talking about, we expect that in the next version of the building code, you're going to have to put a 240 volt outlet in every house so that every house will be ready for EV charging. But in the rating since 2020, we've been requiring this. So all of the rated homes in Austin each year already have those plugs on them. And so we've been rating 20 to 30% of the houses built in Austin for the last few years. And so there are a number of—
one question real
go
quick.
ahead.
When you say 20 to 30%, you're saying of every house that was built new. Are we
right, every house that was built new in Austin.
Okay.
So 20 to 30% of them are rated. So there are a lot more around than you think.
Now that's what, 600 million houses, right?
Just in Austin,
Yeah,
just in
just in Austin.
Austin, although we do rate in a 27 county area. So all over Central Texas, you don't have to be in Austin or Austin Energy territory to get a rated home.
So how does the rating work? Just real quick, like, is it automatic somehow, or does the builder request like a city inspection just to prove how great the house is as a selling point, or?
Well, it is definitely a great selling point, and studies have shown that homes that are marketed as green homes, if they have green features, will go for a better price than other homes that either don't have those green features or have them but aren't marketed to people to explain to them that they have the green features. But the way that the program works is that we have both voluntary and both voluntary and a required rating. So for example, if you're building smart housing, then you have to do green building and get at least a 1 or a 2-star rating. Also, there are
And
planned
smart
unit
housing
develop-
is that the city program for
affordable housing? Right. So if the city is going to give you reductions in your building permit fees, for example, as part of smart housing, in return for that, you've got to do green building. And so also there are planned unit developments all over town that have to do green building because they got special zoning. So Miller, as an example, Goodnight Ranch, East Grove. So there are whole subdivisions that are filled with rated houses, and we have links to that later when we bring up the link page. You can see how you can go to our website, and we provide you the link so that you can see all the subdivisions all over town where all of the homes are rated. But we also have voluntary ratings. So like you want to add an ADU in your backyard, for example, then you can call us up and we'll give you an orientation to the program. You decide this is going to work for you. And so we'll help you to work with your architect and your builder and come out for a couple of site visits to confirm that you were able to meet your green building goals. We have a list online that you would fill out and check those things off and make sure that they get in your construction documents so that you are able to achieve what you want to achieve. And I or one of my colleagues go out and check both before you put the sheetrock in and at the very end to see that all of those things actually made it into your construction.
This sounds really great, and I'm really happy to hear about those things. Here in Windsor Park, we are recommending to people that are applying to build, to make new construction here, to please consider as part of their process to not use gas-powered heaters, whether for water heating or for heating the house. And so that's a new idea that we've implemented, and I'm assuming that's the same thing you're doing with green building.
Yes, I'm glad you bring that up. We actually will allow you to participate in the program if you have gas appliances, but we don't give you any extra points for them, even if they're super efficient. We encourage electrification, especially for the health of family members, given all the studies that have come out, especially about gas stoves. You know, it's become this big controversy. But people have loved switching to induction cooktops, for example. And so we give points in the rating. I
give points for the electric induction stove myself. I've had one for about 25 years, and I can tell you it is a phenomenon of a cooking device, and I love it. People come to my house and they look at it and they ask me what it is, and so it's one of those things where you don't see them very often, but But I think that it is a really great idea and a great way to cook. And control is really, people complain about electric stovetops being not so good, but they're talking about the ones that were designed in the 60s. And this design is super efficient use of energy. So I highly recommend those.
I have my induction cooktop, my induction little portable induction unit on top of my gas cooktop because I don't use the gas very much. So that's
well, I wanted to get back to Mark and the IRA program regarding appliances and home electrification upgrades. This is a thing that the IRA is also looking at, but I think it's tied to the state government in some way. Mark, can you explain that to us?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So I first started talking about what we passed in the IRA with regard to tax credits. That's not the full range of assistance that's available to families to go green. There's a whole separate program in addition to the tax credits that are rebate programs. And as you said, Martin, that will be run through the state. Starts here, the Department of Energy. They're two separate rebate programs. And if you go back to the page on our website, on Congressman Doggett's website, we discuss them at the bottom. They're worked a little different. One has specific dollar amounts. One of the rebate programs has specific dollar amounts. So for your induction cooktop, I don't have that on my screen right now, but you could get up to 100% rebate when this program is up and running for the purchase of that.
It's $840. I can answer that. I'm looking right at it.
Excellent. Excellent. Great. So as you said, this is something the state will have to set up. And in Texas, that's the State Energy Conservation Office, which I believe is part of the comptroller's office. They have, I think, the end of this year and then starting in next year to get this program off the ground. So formal directions on how you might be able to apply for this program will come once that program is set up. But there's certain things that are in the legislation. So this is limited by income. To get that full 100% value, the $840 for that induction cooktop, you're going to have to be around 80% of what's referred to as the area median income. In Austin, that's approximately about $88,000 for a family of four. But you can get a 50% rebate if you're at 150% of the area median income. So that's pretty substantial, you know, sort of moving up the income ladder. And so in both that first program and the second program that work a little bit different, but both rebate programs that are going to be run by the state, hundreds of millions of dollars coming to Texas, around 700 million total, to help families purchase energy efficient appliances.
And unfortunately, we kind of have to wait for that though, right?
We do have to wait for that. So we're definitely going to be monitoring it, making sure that it gets set up properly and people can use this program, and we can do what we can do from here to ensure, just as we do for everything that we pass, that what we intended in Congress to help families go green actually does help them go green.
So Sally, where did we leave off with you on what we were talking about? I know that there's a lot of programs, and I was hoping maybe regarding appliances, regarding this subject matter, that we have a little bit more, drill down a little bit deeper for our audience.
And by the way, we may be getting some live questions as well. And viewers, if you want to type questions that you have into the comments on YouTube, we have a volunteer who will try passing those to us, and we'll try and get your questions answered live.
Sally, take it away.
All right. Actually, if I can bring up my slides, I'm going to talk about the Home Performance Program, Weatherization Assistance Program, and then the other program is talking about where appliances, we do have rebates currently for customers choosing to upgrade their appliances in their home.
Selwyn, do you have that page for us?
Which page did you want? I'm on the links page right now.
Let's start on slide number. Let's start on slide number 5.
5 it is. Here we go. By the way, folks, feel free to leave your cameras on. We want to see your shining happy faces now.
So this program, this is our whole home program that I was discussing before. It is a rebate program where currently customers, if you have a home that's 10 years or older, you can go through this program using our participating contractor. In Austin Energy, we issue rebates back based upon the work that was done. And the measures that are listed there on that screen, basically only we require at least 3 what we call core measures. And what we're trying to achieve is a whole home upgrade at one point in time. And so this is something that, to pick up on the Inflation Reduction Act that I was talking about, we're hoping that anything coming from the programs from the Inflation Reduction Act, those rebates, can layer on top of what we're currently doing, so the customers get both benefits. So we're definitely keeping our eyes on what's going to come available and hope that it dovetails into this program. It's a great program. Customers, in addition to the great rebates that we also have a low interest loan. We basically will reduce the interest rate, sometimes down to 0%, up to $20,000 for customers to finance projects. It does require a participating contractor. So again, like some of the other programs, if you're looking into it, go to our website, get at least 3 quotes. And if you have any questions, you can contact us. Next slide, please.
So this is awesome for anyone who has procrastinated until now. The time is here.
Timing
Absolutely.
is everything.
Yeah. This program, the income-based program, the weatherization assistance program, basically does the same thing as that other whole home program, except for Austin Energy, we're covering the cost. We're covering that cost up to $10,000. And it does all the measures that you see below based upon what the home needs and how much we can basically afford to improve on that home. Similar to the rebate program that we were just speaking about, it is based upon median family income, and you'll see that the requirements are pretty much in line with what was being discussed. So again, we're hoping that what becomes available, we can layer on top of this program and enhance the benefits to our customers. Customers, to go through this program, they just need to either call Austin Energy or go online and fill out a 1-page application. And then we'll do some vetting and see if we can go out and improve their home. Huge benefit of this program. It also has some assistance for customers on medically vulnerable registry list. We try to replace their HVAC units if they need it, and we do that for free for them. And that's on the next slide.
Oh, that's awesome. In rough terms, normally, if someone doesn't have something specifically medical, what kind of income level starts qualifying for this?
Let's go back to the prior slide.
Keeping me hopping, are you? Keep going.
We have one of the
So
best volunteers
80%
in the
median
world,
family
but
income. So for this area, 80% median family income for a family of 4 or less will generally make the customers eligible to go through the program. There are a couple exceptions to that. Customers that are in the customer assistance program with Austin Energy, they do become eligible for this program as well. So there's a couple pathways that customers can be eligible to participate in this program. There are also some eligibility based upon the home size. It has to be 2,500 square feet or less. And then the home value itself, not including the land, does have to be $43,000 or less. We try to adjust that dollar
How
amount.
much?
$437,000 or
Oh,
less. Just for the home.
437,000.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's excluding the land. And renters and owners can go through it. So if you are renting a property, your property owner just has to agree and sign a
Really?
waiver, and we can run it through the program. Because that's basically helping the tenants who are living in the home reduce their energy bills, become more comfortable. We also address indoor air quality issues and indoor health issues. So we're not just looking at energy improvements, we're looking at whole home improvements. And it really does mirror that home performance rebate model, where again, trying to improve all aspects of the home that we can in one project.
And Sally, these are like when I got my solar system, I got a federal rebate, excuse me, and I got City of Boston. So these are in addition, right? You can stack these, right?
Yes.
Austin Energy will give you money. The government will give you money. Everyone gives you money.
That's
glorious.
yes, absolutely. That's correct. And
What a
I
wonderful
think,
thing.
yeah, I when more information becomes available from some of the grants, Austin Energy, once we hear from SECO what the programs will look like, we will try to make sure that things run smoothly for customers and provide additional information and make it easy to participate. We are hoping that it will, again, sort of either stack on top of what we're doing, or maybe we can enhance our programs. We have yet to see what that will look like, but we are keeping our eyes on it.
Yeah, it was remarkably painless. I worked through a company called Lighthouse Solar, and the energy efficiency company was not as good. They had some problems, but in every case, they worked directly with the city. They got the rebate directly to them, so they just reduced the price for me, and so it was very smooth. So I'm very pleased with it.
Yes, fantastic. And did you go through the home performance program?
I had guys here with the blower door and all kinds of stuff. Yes, they sealed me up every which way. The only part I wish we'd done would be in the windows, but that would have been a huge chunk of money because I've got very old 1964 aluminum windows. Sorry, how do you say that in US? You guys want
to? No, you did just fine there.
You say aluminum too?
Aluminum, okay, I think is what.
Okay, good. All right, nicely said.
Aluminum.
Yeah, aluminum.
No, aluminum. Sorry.
So I want to make a point here. Go ahead and stop sharing there, Selwyn. One of the biggest places that we need to reduce our carbon footprint is in our homes. The heating and cooling of energy used for homes and businesses and buildings in general is enormous. I don't know what the percentage is. Mark, do you have any idea what that is? But it's a big number as far as how it is we approach things. So this is one of the reasons why we're talking about this so much, is to get people to understand the one of the best things you can do is weatherize your house. Another thing, would be to as far as Austin Energy goes, and any customer who is watching here who has Austin Energy, you can sign up for the Green Choice Program, which is a renewable energy source that Austin Energy brings to you if you just sign up for the program. And I don't know, somebody here who can talk to us about that. Who knows about the Green Choice Program? Besides me, I'm on it. I can tell you,
I'm on it too.
I've been on it since 2003, and the idea is that Austin Energy has a certain number of customers, and I think now it's a pretty large number. Percentage-wise, I think it might be 10 or 12% of the entire customer base, but they can use that number of people to purchase in the future a certain amount of renewable energy and commit to it for a certain amount of time. And so if you sign up for that, then that gives Austin Energy a greater ability to buy more renewable energy and build more renewable energy projects, or be involved with them in the future. So with that said, I just want to reiterate that we're throwing a lot of things at you here right now. What I'm most enthusiastic about is that, if you plan ahead here for next year, a lot of this stuff is going to start playing into our hands, that we will be able to start using these things.
Here's the slide. Here's the slide on Green Choice.
Right. It is a really simple thing to sign up for. And honestly, the cost of renewable energy is dropping compared to everything else that's available now. So the idea being, in every way that you can change your fossil fuel use, this is just one of them.
Yeah, I think one of the things I do want to mention, and there's a question specifically someone's asking on the question of Green Choice. I think with oh, Catherine says her mic's gone out. Oh goodness. Okay. Hopefully we get that resolved. I want to say that, like, for me, putting solar panels on my roof was not about saving money. It was about being part of the solution of the climate crisis. Same thing with Green Choice. it's about being part of the solution. It costs a little bit more. I'm paying a little extra money for my stuff, but I want to be part of the solution. And I think, that's kind of an ethical issue. I'm sure Sally has more to say about the Green Choice Program, though. Got the slide up there.
Can I jump in here for a second?
Yeah, please do.
So on our webpage, what we'll be talking about today are consumer-facing credits that homeowners can avail themselves of when they file for taxes or when the state sets up this rebate program. One of the things that's not on our webpage, but is definitely a big part of the Inflation Reduction Act, are credits for businesses, credits for entities like Austin Energy to produce green energy. There's the wind tax credit and the solar tax credit. And one of the things Congressman Doggett fought for and got in the Inflation Reduction Act was provision so that a government-owned entity, something that doesn't have tax liability like Austin Energy, can still get the value of these tax credits. They're refundable for government-owned, for entities like Austin Energy or another not-for-profit power-producing energy system to get these credits. And they're 30% credits on the production of wind, solar, or any other kind of zero emission power. So as the Inflation Reduction Act gets ramped up, comes into effect, we should be seeing, because of the value of these tax credits, power that's produced by zero emission energy come down in price.
We'll probably get some contributions to really implementing that. We definitely have neighbors and viewers who have been using the programs we already have available. One of our Green Choice customers, Larry Abraham, or desiring Green Choice customers, has a question. He wants to make sure that you can get Green Choice if you do have solar panels. He's gotten kind of conflicting answers from Austin Energy in the past, and he wants to make sure you can do both. Can someone address that?
How about you, Selwyn? Can you answer that question?
I may be able to. I definitely have I'm looking at one of my bills and I definitely have Green Choice Smart Sense 596 kilowatt hours at 0.00075 per kilowatt hour. Yeah, so apparently yes. And so I have charges for Green Choice on mine.
Great.
So if someone from Austin Energy is ready to pitch in and confirm, it sounds like Selwyn, and he would be the example of someone who has solar panels. He's running off the solar panels when they're providing enough energy to cover everything in his house. He's getting paid when there's extra energy feeding back into the power system. And when the solar panel, and I guess what's happening is when the solar panels don't produce quite enough power for everything in his house, then the extra power that he does draw from Austin Energy is still on Green Choice. Is that what's happening?
Basically, yeah. So when you're a member of Green Choice, you are committing to pay for 100% of the power for Austin Energy to purchase Texas wind power. So that means that we're then going to purchase the equivalent of 100% of your usage from wind source. So that is basically what that means when you are a part of Green Choice. So even if you don't have solar, that's Austin Energy's program where we're purchasing 100% of your usage from Texas wind. So that's how it's coming back to the customers. And the more customers that sign up for this program, the more that allows Austin Energy to expand our purchasing of green sourced energy and reduce fossil fuel sources.
Lawrence is saying, so why did Austin Energy tell us we're ineligible? I assume they just must have spoken to someone who was confused.
Yeah, if they have questions about that or something that they received, and contact Austin Energy either through 311 or get routed to the Green Choice, or they can contact one of us on the call. We can try to route them to someone in the program to run through eligibility questions.
Thanks.
Well, let's circle back over to Olivia and your electric vehicle ideas here. That you said that there's rebates for any kind of electrical vehicle. I mean, is Is that how you have it set up now? Is you need to turn on your microphone.
Right, it's going to be for the electric vehicle modes of transportation. So it's not a direct electric vehicle rebate for an actual purchase of an electric vehicle, but it's going to be for the installation and the actual charging station. And then, like I said, we also have the E-Ride rebate, which is for the electric bikes, electric scooters, electric motorcycles. Those rebates, actually, you can get up to $600 and rebates through the E-Ride rebate program. And that actually just doubled in January. So like I said, that's up to 600. So right now is the time if you're going to decide to another electric mode of transportation, to get one of those e-bikes or electric scooters, because like I said, they doubled in rebates. So definitely now is the time to get one.
So these are city rebates plus anything from the Inflation Reduction Act again, right?
Right, because the Inflation Reduction Act, that's tax related through the IRS. So that's going to be something that you would discuss, with your tax advisor.
If you have a tax advisor. I'm going to talk to Mark about it. That's who I'm getting advice from.
So I'm glad you raised this. This is an issue near and dear to Congressman Doggett's heart. Transportation now is the #1 source of excess carbon emissions in the United States. It's something we definitely need to work on to reach our Paris Climate Accord goals. And so one of the things he did to help out in this regard is pass the EV Charge Act, or introduce the EV Charge Act, which was picked up by the Inflation Reduction Act. For homeowners, it's 30% of the cost of home charging, up to $1,000 credit. And that's fully stackable with the incentives that Austin Energy offers. Something a little frustrating that I will get into is that this was not passed into law exactly as we had written it. This bill had to go through the Senate. It had to go through Joe Manchin, and it got limited. It's not what we wanted, but it got limited. It got limited to lower income census tracts and to rural census tracts. The good news is that those definitions are pretty broad, and I've looked at a map at those definitions. It's not 100% certain, but it does look like Windsor Park will qualify. The frustrating part is that Treasury and the IRS have not definitively yet said which census tracts are in, which census tracts are out for this $1,000 home EV charger credit. It's something that's frustrated the congressman. He's had conversations with the Treasury Department, with the Assistant Secretary there, saying we really need to put out specific guidance on which tracts are in, which tracts are out. If you look at this map, this is sort of based on the old definitions, but I think this will be close to what is finalized. Anything that's colored, the blue, the red, the purple, will be eligible. So it looks like Windsor Park will be eligible for this $1,000 tax credit. But certainly by the time you are going to file your taxes next year for something that you purchased and installed in 2023, this information will be out there. Just a little frustrating that it's not out there now. And the $1,000 credit can be used not only for the cost of the charger, but also if you live in an older house, doesn't have a 240 volt receptacle in your garage. Maybe you require some upgrades to get an electrician to modernize and upgrade your electrical panel. You could use those costs as well for applying for this credit.
So
Well, thanks for. Go ahead.
Sorry, that brings up an interesting question. So I had my solar system upgraded recently. I got some additional panels installed. Do you think I'll be able to retroactively apply for some credit for those?
Well, this credit right here is just for EV chargers.
Right,
but there's a separate credit, the 25C credit, exactly, that also covers the cost, I think up to $600 of necessary panel adjustment or upgrades.
So maybe I could apply for that.
Yep, I would
Sweet.
think so.
So I wanted to circle back just a little bit with Austin Energy here having a website that has electric vehicles available for sale. I saw this and I was really amazed at how many cars there were on there, and were they used cars? I'm trying to remember what I saw at that site. Selwyn, can you pull up that page for us?
The green power plug-in Austin
No,
page.
the Austin Energy electric vehicle
Let's
page.
see. Give me one sec.
Olivia, do you know what I'm talking about?
Right. Yes.
ev.austinenergy.com.
Yes. That's going to be our EV buyer's guide. So like you said, it's going to basically allow you
This
to
one?
shop local
Yes.
EVs. It's there. That'll be the site there. Exactly. That'll basically allow you to shop local EVs and browse local
Scroll
dealerships
down for
EV
it.
inventory.
So let's see if we can find a Nissan. Wait, no Nissans?
Yeah.
That's
What happened? Maybe used. Let's see. Maybe there's used Nissans. No.
Mm.
Ooh,
Nissan's not available.
evil. Something happened.
So I know you're really Leaf centric here, but the whole idea is for us to just see what's out there, and you know, for the sake of anybody who's thinking about shopping, here's one way to do it, and it's through Austin Energy. So how do they qualify these cars? Olivia, do you have any idea? Is it
Well, yeah, they would need to contact the dealership just to make sure that that inventory is in fact there and that the prices are in fact what the prices are stating that they are, and actually negotiate. But yeah, this is, you know, a website where you can find the new and used electric vehicles, you know, locally.
This is such fun. I want to buy electric so bad.
We've got a lot going on here as we're pulling up to 8 o'clock. I'd like to give each person a last few seconds to say how to connect or any final comments for our viewers.
Yeah, Mark, would you like to start off?
Sure. I would just thank you once again for having me on your show. Congressman is a big champion of what you guys are doing. And we're here to ensure that what we've passed into law actually helps you, the consumers, go green. So any sort of issues you have, or if you just want to tell us how this has been helpful in helping you go green, please contact us. Please let us know. You can find our contact information on the website. If you've got problems, if you have feedback, let Congressman Doggett know, because we definitely want to know that this how this program's working, and we definitely want to do what we can to ensure that it's a success.
Fantastic. Sally?
Also, thank you for having us. And I just want to say to customers, when you're in the market for upgrading your home or appliances, think of Austin Energy. We have all these great rebates available. So the next time you're going out to purchase something or you need to do something on your home, check out our website at savings.austinenergy.com/residential, and you're going to see all of the things we talked about tonight and more. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to give us a call or email us. We have some contact information on our website. But yeah, I know most people may not think to start with their local utility when you're thinking about energy efficiency improvements, but we do encourage that because we have so many great rebates and programs and incentives for our customers. And just thanks again for having us here.
Yeah, fantastic. Oh,
There it is. Yeah.
Sorry, it took me a moment to get it.
And you can see here, we've talked about residential today, but we also do a lot in our community. We have multifamily and commercial programs as well, and small business programs. A lot of the things that we offer for residential, we try to do something similar for those other businesses.
Yeah, I always get excited when my thermostat lights up and says that it's making things a bit warmer, because I'm like, okay, I'm being part of the solution. It's great fun.
So Olivia, any wrap up for the EVs?
Yeah, I would say, like I said, now's the time to take or participate in these programs or these rebates, especially considering the fact with our E-Ride rebate programs, they've doubled in incentives. So it's, right now is, the best time to start looking into these programs through Austin Energy has to offer. Even with our E-Ride rebates programs for those electric bikes and scooters, we also have a customer assistance program that actually increases that incentive of up to $1,300. So like I said, right now is the time to participate in these rebates. Because they're doubling in value, and it's a great opportunity to start transitioning into electric modes of transportation.
All right, Olivia says, get off your couch and get going.
That's right.
Catherine Lee, final thoughts on the green energy building program.
Yeah, so if you need help spending Sally and Olivia's money, we are here to help you. So if you go to greenbuilding.austinenergy.com, then you can get the links to connect with us to learn all about the ratings and other ways to help you. You don't have to get a rating in order to get our assistance. If you just have a few questions about renovating your house or doing a remodel, we'll still be glad to help you. And so especially with changing to electrifying your house, we are the biggest fans of heat pump water heaters, and we will help you to figure out where to put one of those in your house. Thanks.
I am going to take you up on that, Catherine Lee. I definitely want to get a heat pump water heater. In addition to all of these other things that we're talking about, there's a checklist now. I want to thank all of my guests, our guests tonight. Olivia, Catherine Lee, Sally Phipps, and Mark Rickling for being here. It's been very educational. I hope everyone in the audience got something out of it, and will take this forward and take some action, because ultimately it's up to us to do something. And as I've been saying for a long time, you vote with your pocketbook, and wherever you're spending your money, that is the most important thing, because if we stop buying gasoline powered cars, you know what, they'll stop building them. So this is where we need to go with what we're doing. And also, please join us Saturday, June 3rd, to meet some compadres of our panelists tonight. Senator Congressman Doggett's going to have his local Austin representative at our event. That can help with information regarding the IRA, and Austin Energy will also have someone there to do the same thing. And we look forward to meeting you in person. So please show up Saturday, June 3rd.
Share some tacos. Enter to win a free electric lawnmower or weed eater.
It's going to be a big throwdown. So thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. And this concludes another episode of the Windsor Park Climate Conversation. Good night, y'all.